Hello, and welcome to Butch's Building Block. This is my workshop, and I'm Butch. Today we're going to be building a pizza peel. We're going to use curly maple, black walnut, and cherry. So come on along with me. I'll give you the dimensions and show you how to make a pizza peel for yourself. Here's a full drawing of our pizza peel. As you can see, it's going to be 14 inches wide. Our handle length will be 14 inches, and the actual peel where the pizzas will sit is 14 inches. I diagrammed this out so I could take a good look to see if I liked the way it was looking. This center hash section is going to be made out of curly maple. We're going to have cherry, another piece of cherry, and then walnut, maple, black walnut here. This is a 14-inch radius circle that I just used my large compass for. And then I used a small can lid to put these in. Now I took the liberty of going through my scrap pile, finding the wood that I'm going to use. There's my piece of cherry. Curly maple. And my black walnut and maple sections. This is very nice contrasting woods, contrasting here so you can see it. And as you can see the very nice striations in there that are going to be the curliness in the maple. Now that we have our pieces of wood chosen, our pattern picked, I will glue these up. After we're done gluing it, we will cut out the full-size pattern off of this box. We will lay the pattern on top and draw around the edges. After we have our pattern drawn, we'll head over to the bandsaw and cut it out. We're ready for our glue up. Small trick to help you woodworkers out. When you have multiple small pieces like this, it's better to glue them up in advance so that they're one solid block. That will help keep these pieces from shifting as you tighten the clamps down. Okay, we'll add a few more clamps to those. We'll let it set for about 45 minutes, and then we'll come back and trace our template. Here's the final configuration of my glue up. I was getting a little bit of bowing here due to the pressure from the clamps. So I put in 2 cauls, one on either side, in order to make the pressure even all the way across there. And as you can see, it worked really well. The glue up is nice and level. Here's our pizza peel, all ready to be traced to its final form. I have my large compass here. I've already set it for 7 inches, which is the half the width of our pizza peel. So we'll just draw a nice scribed arc here. To get us started. And now we'll use our template to overlay. We'll run our edges. And remember, you don't have to be perfect on this. This is the rough draft. Here we are at the bandsaw. I have a 3/8 inch band. And because the inside curves are usually the hardest to cut on a bandsaw, I pre-cut those out just to keep it nice and smooth and to save me some time. Here we are over at my belt sander. I've got 80 grit paper on here. That'll get us roughing down, and then our final sands will be 120, 150, 220, and 320. But to get our shape, we'll cut it down a little bit faster. I finished sanding the pizza peel, and this is the first one I made. So obviously when you make something the first time, every once in a while you look at it and you go, I would not do it that way again. Here's one of those instances. I started out with 3/4 inch stock, figuring that after I glued it up, planed it down, that it would be of the right size and shape for what I needed. It ended up that it was too thick. When I was working on carving this angle at the end of the pizza peel, I ended up having an extremely steep angle in order to preserve the amount of surface area for the pizza. It ended up being bulky, the handle was too thick, this was too much, and I ended up beveling it back in order to try and get it so the pizza would slide off. Nothing really worked. So I just said, you know what? There's got to be a reason why when you buy pizza peels at the store, they're a lot thinner. Not that I have to worry about stability. I mean, we are talking curly maple here as my handle. So you'd have to have an awful big pizza to even think about breaking my handle. So, in order to solve my problem, I went to my planer and I planed this whole top surface down to a 1/2 inch thickness. Now my angle here is not as radical and it's much easier to hold on to. I think this 1/2 inch thick would be plenty of stock for you. So if you have 3/4 inch, I would not suggest doing it. So there you go. We live and we learn. I still think it's a great pizza peel. Now's the time to finish up a little more sanding, and then we'll put the oil on it and see what the final looks like. Here we are at the big oil reveal. All the hard work's been done, sanding's been done, cutting's been done, shaping's been done. Now all we need to do is pour some mineral oil on it and see what she's going to look like. Give it a nice coat of mineral oil so it soaks into that wood. Brings out the texture and the grain. Well, there you have it. Quite beautiful. Curly maple, cherry, black walnut, and maple. It's come out pretty good. I'll let this soak for a little while, put 3 or 4 coats on it, and then we'll take a look at the final product. Welcome back to Butcher's Building Blocks. We've finished our pizza peel. As you can see, it came out very nicely. You can see the curly maple in there really adds some great effect and texture, especially when you contrast it up against the cherry. This was a great project. I learned a lot from it. I hope that you will give this a try also. Just remember, be careful with the thickness that you pick.